Right, completed this. There's a couple of things I want to do. This looks different. I'm going to go through the Od Nua from start to finish. I think mechanics is the skill that allows you to spot secrets. I'm pretty sure I'm missing at least one part of the sword. I have a couple of blade pieces and the pommel jewel, but I don't have a hilt for the sword. So, ooh, right. How does this
Keeping
work?
an eye out.
So this wasn't a secret. But there's at least a couple of secrets I recall that we bypassed. I thought, well, at the time I thought at least that
All right then.
there's not much to them. Or maybe I'll unlock them later, or find something, or whatever.
If
Okay, let's do
secrets
it
whisper
this way.
here, I shall listen for them.
Sneak mode, fast mode and sneak mode combined. It'll probably allow us to move roughly at the same speed, but I think there's a higher probability of us spotting something. Durance is the only one who's really spotting anything
Following
now.
your lead. About blazing time!
Yeah. Capable patrol. We are at maximum level. He has a fairly high mechanic, so we should be able to spot anything if there's anything worth spotting. I'm not 100% sure we are missing a sword piece, but I think we are. So the quest is still we need to find additional sword pieces. It's not we need to or reform the sword or something like that. It's a task, right? Blade of the Endless Paths. Find more pieces for the ancient swords. I think we're cool with this. I don't even see any possible location where things might be. So, moving forward.
What? What? What?
Hey, what? There should be no. Well, there could be some danger. No real enemies or hard fights. So this is more about let's go through this area once. See if we missed something. I'm pretty sure I left something unfinished, like the room with the spikes in the floor. I skipped that entirely. We've been here everywhere. Still, I'm gonna walk through it. Maybe like a minute of wasted time, and there's 15 levels in total. I'm pretty sure I've finished exploring first and 15th level as thoroughly as they can reasonably be. I might have missed something small, but not sword pieces. They were in important locations. Sure, what we're gonna do after this. I suppose this is, well, excluding the boss fight, I mean the end game fight, this is probably the dragon was the toughest fight we're gonna have to fight. And if my experience about role-playing games any indication, the fight was probably the toughest. Usually, some kind of optional fight is the toughest, not the end game boss. Because everyone has to be able to finish the game these days, but not everyone has to win against every opponent. the game was very clear about offering an alternative way to deal with the dragon too. So you don't have to fight it.
This place was cruelly shaped, not born.
White leaf. If we would explore everything, I'm pretty sure we would find minor hidden things, but at the same time, I don't care about those. I want places I genuinely haven't visited. That's a chasm. No, this is natural caverns. There's probably no secret doors in a natural cavern. It's not like they're hard to spot. Usually the game makes it incredibly clear where there's a secret door. Not always, but it's. I think it's the game's ways of making sure that okay, that's that's definitely treasure. Yeah, I recall seeing this. I think I mistook it for this later on, like I could have seen some part of that from a small angle. No, it's the treasure. How the fuck do you get there? How could I have missed that? Well, this is why this is a good idea.
See now what the flame has
Yep.
shown us?
It's probably because this is fairly early on, and by the time I visited this the first time, I didn't have the skills to actually spot the entrance. The Zorbs have piled together coins, discarded jewelry, and battered fragments of ornamental weapons and armor. Ornate sword hilt. Is that enough? Force the blade. Okay, we have all the pieces of the blade. Ah. And what the fuck is in the lower secret room? Is it the one on level 13 or 12? Fine mace, fine large shield. I was sort of guessing that that's where the missing sword piece was. So what the fuck is that then?
Now this I haven't seen before.
Nature's Embrace. Plus 5 damage reduction versus burn and freeze. Grants wood skin when hit by critical hit, 2 per encounter. 6 damage reduction versus pierce, shock, burn and slashing for 15 seconds. It's a nice item. What exactly do we have? You have the belt of damage reduction, this. Endurance per regeneration belt. It's not bad, but it's 1 point per 3 seconds, so it's worthless. I'd rather take the nature's whatchamacallit. And did I actually put it in my inventory or in the stash? Stash. The regeneration is too weak for me to really give a shit. Fights usually last like a minute maybe, so 20 endurance, that's like a single hit, maybe two. It's not that strong. Okay, this is turning out to be more lucrative than I thought. I was basically guessing that when we mostly aren't gonna find anything, but when we get to that low level secret door, we'll get the sword piece. So now we're not even halfway through and we've gotten the sword piece and have actually a great build. A couple of decent value items. Anything here? I don't think so. This was probably spirits, things like that. There could certainly be secrets, but I don't think we're missing out much if we just move past this. I don't see anything obvious wrong here. I suppose we could go after the bounties. They're technically not really quests, but there's probably a finite number of them, and it will also would allow us to get as much money as we're probably going to get. So it's about a couple of thousand per mission, so maybe closer to 30,000 once we're through with all that. I think there's, well, how many of them have I done? I don't recall. At least 4. At least. Possibly 8. No more than that. And I'm pretty sure I have 4 left, so either doesn't matter. We'll do as many as we can. Basically, as long as they seem like they're things like someone actually designed. This game doesn't seem to use any kind of random generated content, so I'm sure there aren't that many bounties. Okay, this is the vampires. I think we've explored this and I don't see any obvious problems here. I might have missed something. I can go. This is dead end. I think I'll go straight down. I don't see any obvious problem with this. I don't think I would have
Now
skipped.
this I haven't seen before.
I don't think I would have skipped a container. It's some areas I might have not gained access to. Adra Titan. And we do not need to talk to the Withrax or whatever they were called and tell them about the we killed the master. Not sure how they'll react to it. I can't see they would object to it. Potential danger for a future. At the same time, no more dangerous than anyone else, so I haven't visited there, and I haven't visited there. That's the spike room. This I don't even know what that is. Probably should have the warrior go there. He has regeneration of a limited sort, so he could probably get through with it without too much fuss. Still, good to save.
Hey,
Hey, Don't have too much health though. Maximum endurance minus 15%. Yeah, I have withdrawals from the drugs. Uh, I need someone who can open these.
All right then.
Ooh. Wonder, they seem to be tied on the chains. Keep. Danulia. Plus 20% attack speed. Exceptional. It's starting to be very unhealthy to be here.
What?
Need to open that.
If it makes you rest easier.
More keys.
Hey.
Hey, hey,
All
hey.
right then.
Don't, no. Jesus fuck. You and your suicidal tendencies.
Shh.
Right. Can we help
Yes.
him a little bit? Yes, we can.
Oh?
Your thoughts must flow deeply indeed.
What?
Keeping an eye out.
Keeping an eye out, boss. Ooh, something useful. Garnets and gold. Not exactly what I expected, but still useful. And stairs down. Can take another quick look in these rooms. Don't expect really to find anything. Oh, there's something. But we've already been there. This was not a surprise. What was here? Right, so a little bit of extra treasure. The steward might have something worthwhile to add to this too. No, we're going to go after. We're gonna rest when we get out of here, and we're gonna do the battle. Actually, I think I'll probably just separate this sort of retreading on us to a separate video, so I can start the battle to protect our castle separately. We'll do any maintenance jobs we need to do too at the same time. What is this? Camping supplies. Back to full. I do want to go and forge the sword. I know who does it. Don't have to waste time finding that. Was the area with the dank spores. Wonder if I could make potions for myself. Well, I can, but what influences that? Is it survival? Plus 124 endurance. Could make 20 of these. I sort of want to make at least some. Much cheaper this way, and I have no use for those. Plus 50% attack speed for 30 seconds. Minus endurance, plus 2 move speed. Reflex and deflection. Major regeneration. Iron skin, merciless. Yeah, these are all nice, but not that amazing. It's really the low duration that's the problem with some of these. 50 endurance and 50 max health sounds like a lot, but usually it's sort of a scale thing, I suppose. Will work against elements would be great as potions. I mean, scale thing in the sense that maximum endurance might resolve. That's wonderful. That you either it's very rare to find a perfectly balanced fight. It's either you have the clear advantage or the opponent has a clear advantage initially without any spell casting. So it's hard to get the balance where a little bit of extra endurance would make a huge difference. Because if you're gonna lose, then usually it's gonna be a catastrophic crash once it starts moving that way. Alternatively, you stay on the top and the max endurance never comes into play. Pearlwood chicken. Dragon meat dish. This is a genuinely good article. With more vegetables, we could create more. Resolve is defense and will. Might is power. Good for everyone. Actually, max endurance is good. Yeah, in fact, the meat is much better than the egg dish. I'm curious about these now that this was the first time I really had to try to get everything out of my characters. So now I'm sort of curious what the potions can provide. I'm somewhat curious about the recovery potions and endurance potions. I sort of feel like everyone should have these. This is resources for 8 potions. Right. So this is what you need to make 2 potions. So we want at least a couple for everyone, that's a dozen potions at least. We will still be left with a reasonable amount of things. I like the crafting system, that it doesn't require you to do a single thing at a time. You can just click in the amount of things you want to make and just accept. We already had a few. Well, it wouldn't hurt if the frontline fighters had a few extra. Right. the Okay. Lower duration on the negative effects would also be very good to have for everyone. Yeah, it's not gonna prevent the thing, but it's a huge difference in survivability with certain abilities. You're out of the fight for a few moments versus you're out of the fight for pretty much rest of the fight. Okay. We are sensing change in air. Endless paths quiet now. Human animal changes much. Charek gives respect. What will you do now? We will study what the friend of the colony brought. We will find answers soon. Take them home. Take the young too. They will be tall when we reach Stravik Narith. The Withrak makes a hollow rattling noise. You think it might be laughing. Jarek will be old. Hmm. Still, they're a potential source of trouble. They might think this is a nice place to live. I don't know. Leaves of Essence, Grimoire. Ooh. Ooh. Why don't I have this? Essential Phantom. Creates a ghostly double of the caster, causing shock damage to enemies hit by it. Okay. And this lance. This is a good weapon, but I'm not going into melee with my caster. Martial power. Again, well, create a weapon, use something like this, and I think you might have a worthwhile temporary fighter. So, but if you have proper fighters, why would you use it? I guess it's sort of a consideration if you wanted to solo without wizard. Yeah, good luck soloing the Adra dragon. I don't know if it would be impossible. I mean, it's just a dice roll, really. Can get lucky, but uh, yeah, there's a big goddamn butt right there. And I don't see any easy way that you could cheese through it. It's immune to all the really nasty status effects. I suppose you could have some kind of oil slick under its ass constantly, so it keeps slipping off, being prone constantly, something like that. But you still need to deliver the damage. So you have a limited amount of spells. You might be able to summon a few creatures through items. So it's not impossible, I guess, but um, it would be tough, very, very tough. Death Ring. Wait, I recall what he has for sale, but we're probably not coming back. I'll buy these. I haven't seen too many of them, and they're useful for the potions. Not sure about the others. Scrolls of Paralysis. We can do paralysis through casting. At least two of our guys can do it. The wizard and the cipher.
Hello? Hello?
Blue. Yeah. What level are we? Level 12. Yeah, I think level 13 has the secret door I was thinking about. One I couldn't get through. Historic, the Withrak, is potential source of trouble. I mean, because he was so hostile toward us. But again, it's nothing special compared to other hostility we've encountered. And it didn't lead to fighting in the end. So, there. That's... Do you have a scroll that I can also use to temporarily increase my mechanic? But if that doesn't work, I've got nothing. And I'm not coming back here. It's not worth it. I don't care what it is. I cared quite a bit more when I thought it was the sword piece, but now that that's not really a problem, I don't care. I'm sure it's something quite useful. At the same time, it's also probably something that I can live without. This. This looks suspicious to me, but it's nothing. Please. I can't get anything out of the spirit. I thought I might have been able to squeeze some kind of information out of him. Still suspicious about the table, but if I fucking can't spot it, I can't spot it. There's the scroll. I'll save before using it. I don't want to waste it if I can't actually spot anything.
What? Hmm?
Yeah. No idea. Just load. I don't think there's anything if we go below. There was the shade in the 14th floor and the dragon was in the 15th. Yeah, we're done. We need to go up, rest, get the sword done. Still, it does bother me a little bit.
Trust me.
There's no way hell I can get there. These little question marks are not a bad thing. I would like at least at this point play the game again with a different type. One good way might be to just basically make your own party. It doesn't make sense if you want to play the plot, and especially for a first time. I definitely would like to play with the NPCs, as the game offers enough. They have a concrete tie to what seems to be going. It seems like foolishness to just make your own party at this point. At the same time, you could probably create something much more combat worthy. I mean, we have almost everything. It's not that, but there's a huge difference in having a single guy able to carry the role, and then maybe have, in comparison to having maybe 2 or 3 of the same class guys. That's a it's the same problem with what you face constantly. A singular enemy that has some ability, yeah, you can. It's not too bad. You might be able to harm a little bit, but you can usually just sort of brush it off. Add a couple of extra guys, and the damage piles up enough that your party members can easily be wiped out in a matter of moments. Not sure how summons would work. I mean, the Chanter can keep up a decent amount of summoned creatures from time to time. Is there a maximum limit for the party? There doesn't seem to be a maximum limit for individuals, at least. Maybe it's an individual summoning spell. If you cast a summon spell, you create things, but if you cast another, even if it's a different type, the previous one is automatically sent away. So it seems to be spell specific in that sense. You can only have one summoned spell or ability active at a time. We had
Last
this.
thing the Deerwood needs is another foreign
We
colony.
had the summoning stones, Tamara characters, and I couldn't summon two guys at the same time. Yeah, that would make. Yeah, I was thinking for maybe a solo attempt, you could spam summons once you've sort of disabled the dragon, but that won't work. It's all you or nothing. There's no amount of warrior that can stand against it. It would have to be some kind of a. Well, I don't know what a monk and a barbarian does really. I doubt they're that special. From my brief look at the monk, it seems to be sort of a D&D monk. Uh, Good at unarmed, can use weapons, natural unarmed damage development as you level up. But it works in a different manner. It has sort of a magical type of ability like the Cypher's Focus, in that during fights you can. I think the, their focus is called wounds. As you get damage, you get power to use special abilities. You know, something like that. I'm not sure if that's a great system or a terrible system. My problem with that is a good warrior doesn't get hit. So if your power is based on your getting your ass handed to you, how exactly is that gonna work? Barbarian is the meatiest tank, so it's the one that can take the most hits. The monk is not that, so that's why I'm sort of it would make more sense for a barbarian since it has the toughest tank, or rather, it has the biggest buffer. The best tank, I think, is with the fighter. It's the hardest to hit, but barbarian can get hit quite a bit more often, and it'll be fine.
You... you've done it! I felt the change from here. It's as if there was a noise, a voice, underlying every sound in the keep, and I had simply ceased to notice. The silence now seems almost strange. You have done what the Earls, their descendants, and hosts of explorers could not. There is nobody left to challenge your claim. You are well and truly master of Od Nua. We have known that from the beginning, of course. But now, all the world will know and share my pride in your accomplishments.
8 prestige, 8 security. $59 prestige, 50 security. Right. Preparing for battle. We need to go to the sword first. Might as well take a look what we've been gathering here. Maelstrom. Ivan's Cradle, yeah. Beneficial effects suspended for 20 seconds. Forward effect. 5 uses. That's gonna be useful. Your spell books. I want this one. And what's the spell book? I think it's that one. Maybe the Grieving Mother. If she's low on focus, she usually has nothing to do, so having a few extra magical items might change that. She might take this too. No, 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 I want something like this on my main character. Don't want the extra traps though. Does this just have one charge for every ability? Yes. I don't like these. Or is this one charge per rest? It just says one charge. I guess we can test things out. It's a pet. I hope it's one per rest, so you can use every ability once between rests. If it's just you can use them once and that's it, it seems like a terrible thing. Because something like Slicken, protection against fear, they're not bad abilities, and this is supposed to be a very good item. But they're still low-level spells for the most part. I'm assuming it's once per rest, so the charges will basically get restored when you rest. We could test that out. Shouldn't be too tough. Can I cast any of them?
Yes?
Yeah, the Slicken, sure.
Arthek, Worthen, Rock!
I mean, we can easily cast it from our own spell depository. We don't need that. Right. There's no uses left.
What?
Now, let's go and rest, see if it gets returned. After which, we'll go and fix the sword, come back here, and end it there. Prepare to defend the keep in the battlefield.
Last thing the deer.
Or go to the sword, then come back here and rest. Either way,
Hope you're not expecting much.
What?
Hey.
right. It's in the Knights building, the smith. Reforged sword. I'm assuming he's gonna want something for the favor too. But we want to get the sword as quickly as possible because if I'm right and it's a soulbound item, it's gonna take some time for its abilities to fully develop. So we need to get to using it as quickly as possible. White Leaf Crash. Accuracy bonus versus Vessel, yeah. So I didn't even reconsider that. So we're gonna rest it, and, sort of, take every bonus available against beasts, and it's not a minor thing. Yeah, have weapons specifically focused to use against beasts. So there were definitely significant things that we could have done to improve our chances against the dragon. It's a beast, right? It's a dragon. Right. Level 12 beast. So equal level really. 571 endurance, accuracy 105, damage 58 to 88 slash pierce, damage 58 to 88 slash pierce, I'm not quite sure what that means. 30 might, 24 constitution, 20 dexterity, perception 22, intellect 26, resolve 18, 106 deflection, 97 reflex, 121 fortitude, 101 will. Immunity to burn and shock. I don't recall seeing immunity to shock. Weak against slashing and freeze. Well, weak, only 21 damage resistance. Breath, horn slash, tail lash, wing slam, fear aura. Immunity to unconsciousness, stuck, frightened, terrified, petrified, resistance to prune. Anything interesting about Adral? No, it's a generic description of a dragon's lifespan. Show him the pieces of the blade of the endless paths. I found all the pieces of this ancient sword. Do you think you could repair it? And it would be a privilege to. Not often you get to lay eyes on such fine craftsmanship. He runs a calloused finger along the edge of one of the shards. This blade'll take some time, but I guarantee it'll be worth the wait. So 2 blade pieces, hilt and the pummel stone. Finest work I've ever done, if I may say so. It's only a shame I can't take all the credit for it. Something else on your mind? Lost half my taxes to bandits, half we kept. With the sword. Blade of the Endless Paths. Unique S-Talk. No one's using an S-Talk. Fuck. Can someone use an S-Talk? Are you a S-Talk person? I don't think Soldier's Great Sword. Right. So, fuck. You have no weapon skills. What exactly are you using? S-Talk, we would be giving up 6 accuracy if we use a weapon we don't have skill for, but it might still be worth it. I mean, what are we using now? Exceptional two-handed sword that does a bit of crushing damage. That's it. So it could still easily be better than that. Right. Interruption. Strong. Damage. Piercing. 5 damage resistance bypass. Superb accuracy and damage. Plus 20% attack speed. Plus 10 accuracy granted to an ally attacking the same target. It's fine, but it's it has plus 20% attack speed. That's what it has, and the plus 10 accuracy. Cannot be enchanted further though. It's a high quality weapon. Marking and fast. Um, I'm not too impressed. We have plus 8 accuracy two-handed sword, right? Mm, plus 6 on top of that, so plus 14. we can raise to +12, so the accuracy and damage, the sword will probably, 200 sword will probably be better for us, and it does all three damage types, while this only does piercing damage. Quite a few opponents are weak to piercing, but there's also quite a few that are totally immune to it, so it's a good weapon, no doubt about that, but I'm not super impressed by it. So, back to Stronghold, I think we'll just rest, leave it at that. I don't think I want to do any kind of a... What exactly do you need the scales for of an Atra Dragon for? Is it a shield or armor? And how many do those upgrades use? One for a shield. This is a good shield. Has preservation, but it only has preservation. We can make a superb shield out of anything, so... This plus 50 defense while stunned and prone. It's nice. I'm not sure if is it the best possible shield. It's better than... It has to be a unique shield if it wants to compete. And we don't have really any other unique shields. You have this, the ones that grants bashing. So an extra attack. And that's it. This is certainly better than that. And I'm not sure if it would add all that much shield deflection either. What about armors? So yeah, we can do 2 superb enchantments. This is currently fine. Lore giving, second chance. I don't particularly care for these. It's just, second chance is certainly useful, but lore giving? Give me a break. I think we can do better. Second chance on unconsciousness. +2 lore. Yeah, this is nothing special. It has decent resistances versus pierce and slash, but yeah. +50% damage reduction when under quarter of health. Not particularly great either. But there have been a lot of unique armors, and I've sometimes even been for sale. +1 move speed, +10 deflection against range attacks, for example. It's not quite as good. It's a bit lighter armor. Heavy armor. Good against crushing. Retaliation. 6 to 10 piercing damage when someone hits you. Not bad. But high defense also means you're not gonna get hit all that much. Might be better for a different type of character. He carries many scars. This seems very similar to what we have. +50% armor damage reduction when health low. +1 endurance per second. So I think better abilities for warrior than the second chance and lore giving. Second chance is good though. Definitely good. No doubt about that. Grants frenzy when hit by a critical hit, which is what? +4 might, +4 constitution, +33% attack speed, -10 deflection, health and endurance. Deflection, yeah, health and endurance concealed for 12 seconds. That's interesting. Not sure if this is a good or bad thing, really. Unique medium armor, unique light armor, unique medium. Looking at our options, the armor isn't that bad. The second chance is nice. If someone happens to knock the guy down, you can at least have a chance of recovery without someone having to come and resurrect you. At the same time, I think I'll keep an eye out for different heavy armor. We're looking for the special abilities. Second chance isn't bad, but minor regeneration isn't bad either. I don't know. I'm not sure if it matters too much. We can still make 2 superb item pieces. That's the bottom line. We might be able to buy a superb shield or a superb armor, and it might be more worthwhile to do that. Then save the scales for unique pieces of armor and shield that you want to upgrade.
Last thing the deer.
Right. We have a solid group for the fight, and because we have to use this group to fight against the Outer Dragon, I'm fairly comfortable with it now. I know what we can and can't do with it, so I think I'll just use this. Yeah, what the... I don't think you can tank the Adder Dragon with anyone. I think a better group would be something that can throw sacrificial units at it, like the Chanter can. I think the wizards can
Hey.
to summon something. Maybe the druid certainly can. Someone who can basically throw away units from time to time against it, keep it occupied, while you either buff your own guys and debuff it, and then pour as much damage on it as you can. Naturally, the ciphers are a good option for that. You use the trash to gather up your focus as much as possible, then do the weakening, then a couple of disintegrations on it, and they just need to hit. The quality of the hit is much less important. Alternatively, proper damage dealers, either warriors with a couple of weapons, or maybe barbarian, monk, or rogue. Rogue should be the highest damage dealer, but I think it might have the highest accuracy progression too. So great damage, very accurate, but it can't tank for shit. But against the dragon, I'm not sure if it matters because none of us could tank for shit. We're going to fight against an hostile art. Perception is always good. Your own shit hits much better. We are suffering from withdrawals. No? Not anymore. Right. Start the fight. I'd like to buy more summoning things if we can help it. They don't really settle fights, but they give you time if you have to spend time buffing. Druid would be great for that reason alone. I don't want to take Alaf with me in the final encounter. He could be trustworthy, but at the same time I don't want another mage, and there is the risk that
as
he
beautiful
isn't
as it can be
trustworthy.
with the absence of children.
Not necessarily because he's always looking to stab us in the back, but because of the oath thing. The Theos has managed to get people to basically sacrifice themselves, willingly go and die, and I'm not sure how that's possible. I mean, a normal sensible person would not do it. So either they're all some kind of weird freaks that are insane, which is highly unlikely, or there's very strong reason for them to try to keep their oaths. That's much more likely, which means Allah might be pushed into that group. Even though he doesn't particularly want to do it, the consequences of not following with the oath would be so severe that he would still side against us and go with Theos. And I don't need that extra shit. I want the six-man group to function well. I want everyone there to be trustworthy. Durance is the question mark though. I don't know. You are a mystery to me. I can see somewhat where he's coming from. He's the had to do a terrible thing, and he seems to be the final survivor, pretty much, of that encounter. So struggling with that quite a bit. So I'm not sure where he's going to fall into this. I'm not exactly saying he's untrustworthy, just that because I don't know what's going on with Taos and what he's trying to do. So if it's something to tied with gods in general and what some gods are trying to do, and in the grander plan of the gods, Durance, because of his history, might be very strictly opposed to certain things or for certain things, and that might cause a lot of friction. With the rest, I don't think they care. A grieving mother is another, though. She will want to fix the Hollowborn no matter what the cost. That's troubles for another time. Battle.